And side by side with the gods, his glory is strung like beads of light to adorn the arc of history itself.
Also look at it. Look at Chris Richards. It's on the other side of the bar. The flag comes up. The goal is given on the field. It's Chris Richards from Sebastian Walter. Less than 4 minutes in.
Just a little shredder. That will soft.
And look, that is a clear hand on the ball.
I give you the number 1 ranked eater in the world, Gary Chestnut.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, it's good to have Joey Chestnut back in the fold this weekend for the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, which, Tommy, I don't know if you know this, he won again.
Yeah, 70 and a half in 10 minutes.
Unbelievable. One time for our fantasy football league, the loser had to eat, at the time, it was 72 hot dogs during the course of a week. We called it the Joey Chestnut punishment. He didn't have to do it in a day or the time allotted to Joey Chestnut and the rest of contestants, but he was back. And
how many in a week? How many?
He had to do 72 because that was the number that Joey Chestnut hit either that year or this.
76 is his record. Mm-hmm. I know way too much about this.
Did you end up? I did not. I watched. I gotta be honest. I watched the highlights. I did not watch it live. I was chastised by some of my friends this week. It's like, what do you mean you didn't watch it? It's like, well, there's really not a lot on, so maybe I should have watched it.
I was listening to our radio station, and the national guys on ESPN they spent an hour talking about this. So I got a lot of insight, a lot of detail, a lot of opinion. They spent most of Sunday as I started talking about whether or not this is a sport, whether or not you're an athlete, whether or not Joey Chestnut's an athlete. It was kind of an intriguing conversation.
Well, speaking of sports, I do want to present something else a little later in the show about robot soccer that apparently started in Beijing, China, right, which may be more entertaining.
AI is going to replace all of us.
Yeah, and apparently Amazon's already incorporated over 1 million robots in their company, and they continue to add to that, which is a little scary.
Our Cart Path Social Daily Question, Morning Rush Daily Question coming up may center around the hot dog eating contest. So be thinking about how many maybe you could eat in 10 minutes.
What a tease.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. We are, 54 days from the first football game, 54 days away. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com. Ty, there's single game tickets coming up for the Notre Dame game. A&M's in town. Now's the time to get tickets for the regular season as we are on the backside of 4th of July.
And that's one of the places I wanted to start this morning because I've seen those emails. I've seen the basketball ones. I've seen the soccer emails come in. I wonder as we are a week out from SEC Media Days, and this doesn't have to pertain just to football, but maybe you're a current season ticket holder. Maybe you're considering one of those sports I just mentioned. Maybe you're kind of on the fence. What sport are you considering season tickets for this fall? Me personally, if I was a Razorback fan, being the fact that Notre Dame is in town, as long as it doesn't overextend your budget and you feel like you can afford it, that alone is what is getting fans, I think, to the telephones and buying season tickets. The fact that the Irish are in town this year. Texas A&M's here for the first time since 2013, which I also think is a big deal. And personally, I think you've got winnable games against Mississippi State and Auburn, where it goes, again, Texas A&M, let's see, it goes Texas A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State. So you could have a 3-game stretch where I think they're going to win every single one of those games potentially, depending on how things shake out. But what season tickets are you considering this upcoming season? It can be a fall sport. It can be a spring sport. We're fortunate enough here at the radio station where we have tickets and we try and give them out to our listeners and stuff like that. But maybe in the conversations you have, what are people saying right now as we're 54 days out from football in this upcoming year? Those that were on the fence, those that are debating, what is it, something that you've heard on in regards to that? Season
ticket holders are going to buy regardless. I mean, the ones that have been, I don't hear very many people say, I'm done throwing my hands up, not buying anymore. So I think they're probably the renewal rate was very high. 95+% would be my guess. I know the economy's a little tighter for some. It's tightening up, with inflation and different things that, insurance costs have really eaten into people this year. It seems like, but But I haven't talked to anybody that's not renewing their tickets, that's letting their seats go back. I was a bit concerned that basketball may force some people to choose. And I really want my basketball tickets. I probably still get football tickets, and they gave up football to have the money to buy basketball. Those tickets went up, but you're also your donation, and I don't think that's still set what you're going to have to give to sit where you maybe want to sit. That process begins soon. So they may have a little bit of cannibalization at some point going into the next year. You already had to declare for football, but basketball may eat into that ever so slightly. There's only 19,000 seats. There's really only about 16,000 available. A lot of those are going to be eaten up, so I don't think it's going to be a huge dent, but it may affect 1,000 people.
You mentioned 54 days out from this upcoming season. We're also a week out from SEC Media Days. We don't know just yet who's going to represent Arkansas outside of Sam Pittman. Talon Green's going to be there, of course. He was there last year. It's not like they're not going to bring him. Colton and I were talking before the show. I expect you're going to have the two other personalities. You're going to have one on the offensive line with Fernando Carmona Jr., and you're going to have the funniest guy on the team, which is Campbell. Do you expect anyone else to be there at SEC Media Days next week for Arkansas, with the exception of those?
They've been taking three. I mean, usually you have three. So, yeah, someone asked me that this weekend, and I thought Cam Ball, Talon Green, and then probably some senior, someone that's been around. I need to get my depth chart out over here and look over it. I'd expect certainly those two.
I just think from a personality standpoint, I mean, we talk about, like, you obviously want your quarterback, you want the face of the league, which our buddy SEC Mike ranked Talon as high as 4th in his quarterback rankings this week, which I thought was interesting. Had him above Arch Manning, which I know people were really high on Arch, even though he hasn't played a lot of football just yet. I just think that, like, the next week, and Arkansas is going to appear at SEC Media Days in Atlanta, Georgia on Wednesday at the Atlanta Omni. And
Thursday, isn't it?
Thursday. What did I say? Wednesday?
Said
yeah, Thursday.
Last day.
College Football Hall of Fame, Sam Pittman. I'm going to guess those three guys are going to be there. I just think given
Who'd
the
you
chance.
say, Talon, Cam, and who?
Talon, Cam, Fernando. You got the two personalities. You got one anchor on the offensive line, one anchor on the defensive line, and then you've got the face of your team, which is the quarterback.
Okay.
I just don't expect anyone else to be up there next week.
Well, irregardless, I think a lot of people want to, kind of hear what the message the head. I'm always more interested in, unless you have a superstar athlete that's like a front runner for a Heisman or something like that, a Tim Tebow type, a Darren McFadden type, and there's not one of those every year in this league. I want to hear what the head coaches have to say.
Okay.
And I've always been more in tune with that, and I'm very interested by the time we have all the noise, because you got to remember, all the noise, all the distractions, and something, seems like more years than not, maybe this year, maybe not, something pops up, whether it's conference expansion, whether we've kind of come through the big news of revenue sharing, all that, but, does something else happen? You got to get through all the noise. And then how do you cut through the clutter and get your message out on the last day of these meetings? And there's, all these coaches are superstars in their own right, but there's not a Nick Saban in this league any longer that casts such a huge shadow. Everyone else's words are drowned out. Kirby Smart, I guess, would be as close to that, but he's certainly not. Well, Nick Saban wasn't exactly, the life of the party behind those microphones, but people still. He was E.F. Hutton. When he talked, people listened.
Yeah. And he's kind of let himself a little looser nowadays, being that he's a media guy rather than a coach.
But when he was head coach, very buttoned up. So there's really not a super. Is there a coach that you're like, man, I don't care what's happening, I got to be in the room for that coach? There's just not one like that right now in this league.
Kiffin's funny, but it's not. Sometimes you never know what to expect from him from SEC Media Days. But again, that begins a week from today. We will be in Atlanta, Georgia at the College Football Hall of Fame broadcasting from that. So excited about that.
And we can keep up on the Hit That Line Now app when we're in Atlanta, or if you're traveling this summer. The Hit That Line Now app is powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has got you covered. We got you covered with the Hit That Line Now app. Download it in the Apple app or Google Play Store and take us anywhere you go.
Before we get in our opening drive, one of the other clips that was in our open this morning, U.S. lost to Mexico last night in the Gold Cup final.
That's it. Final whistle. Mexico back to back at the CONCACAF Gold Cup.
Now, a lot of people were claiming rigged last night. There was a handball. It felt like there was an offsides that Mexico still scored. Did you watch any of that game last night?
Didn't even know what was happening.
Colton,
I did, Ty, and it makes me so. If you want people to become soccer fans in the United States, you need to explain what these rules are. How is that not a handball, and how is that not offsides? First of all, it's so different for me watching football. This was supposed to be a review. They go to the center ref at the end of the game to determine whether or not that was going to be offsides or not. A very impactful or crucial goal. They're saying go to the box. The center ref just stands there, and he just basically gets a message from somebody else. It didn't look like there was any review, so I don't know how that works. And then the handball thing, the guy fell with his hand on the ball. If your hand touches the ball, how is it not a handball? It just is. I'm not a soccer fan. I don't understand. I was excited to watch America over the 4th of July weekend, have some patriotism. It all came crashing down.
Now help me, because I'm like you. I don't know. I thought you had to have kind of an intentional act of trying to hit it with your hand.
There's like three. It's prongs isn't probably the right word, but there's 3 bullet points to the rule, and there is kind of some intentionality.
You got to be diving and hit it. You got to throw your hands up. I thought there had to be some intent.
He was stopping himself and fell on the ball, but it looked like he was keeping the ball in place to keep it closer to himself and away from an American player. That's what I would, obviously just assuming the worst, but I don't know.
There's 2 places that playing in your home ballpark, football stadium, soccer stadium, you don't have the home crowd. United States when they play Mexico in the U.S., and then Vanderbilt during SEC football games.
First of all, nobody could barely even see the action out there. They shot off fireworks and a bunch of pyrotechnics inside of a closed dome in Houston, so there was just a bunch of haze in there for the entire game.
It was not the best, but the U.S. lost. My dad was not happy.
Colton sounds bitter about it.
It's the first time I tuned in to watch soccer. I was excited about it. They got off to a quick start. Chris Richards, a beautiful header, and then it just.
My dad wants to go to Kent. So the 2.
What was the final score?
2-1.
2-1.
The 2 closest places for the World Cup next year are actually pretty regionally close to Arkansas. Kansas City being one, and then Dallas being the other. I think Dallas has a semifinals matchup, if I remember that right. My dad wants to go to one of those games next year. Hopefully, the U.S. is going to be a part of the stage where it's in Kansas City or in Dallas, but kind of getting you ready for this World Cup that will be in North America this next year. All right, let's get into our opening drive. We were talking about SEC Mike. He's at Talon Green as high as 4 on his quarterback rankings. What does Chad think about Talon this year?
Talon Green is primed to be Arkansas's biggest weapon in 2025. After racking up some solid stats last season, he's back with sharper decision-making, quicker reads, and that same home run ability that lit up SEC defenses in 2024. Don't forget, a hobbled Talon Green still led all SEC quarterbacks in explosive plays last year. Expect 3,500 total yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and enough highlight reel plays to make Razorback fans scream, "Woo pig!" in surround sound. If he stays healthy and cuts down the turnovers, Green could not only lead Arkansas to a bowl game, he might just launch himself into the first round of the NFL draft.
This is the opening drive.
Chad's a little strong on the last part.
On that, yeah.
On the last part, but I keep going back and forth on
his
Talon.
athleticism, though, when he gets loose and running in the open field is impressive.
It's intriguing. So, like at the top of most quarterback rankings, you're going to find the same 3 quarterbacks. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU, Lenore Sellers for South Carolina, DJ Lagway for Florida. People are split on Arch Manning, whether he's a top 3, top 4 quarterback, or maybe is more in the top half of the league. And I realize it's talking season, the off season, but I keep seeing Talon, Tommy, anywhere from like 4 to 10 for these SEC rankings, and like the optimistic fan and radio host in me wants him to be within maybe that top 6, top 5. But from what I saw last year, I'm also kind of pulling myself back a little bit from thinking he's going to be in that. JT Hot Springs texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline and said, "What? First round?" Well, if Talon plays like a first-round quarterback, you're going to probably be winning 7 or 8 games this fall. Is it one of those things like you're not gonna say anything about him until week 3 against?
Is
Ole
he worth
Miss?
a win?
And that's what you said about Petrino last year. That was
is he
a great
worth
point.
a win? Is Talon worth a win? Is Talon and Bobby together worth? Will they make the difference in a game that flips it from L to W?
I think so. When you frame it that way, I would agree with that.
All right, so I'm going to go down this list.
Bobby's not taking any snaps.
Yeah, I'm going to go down this list, and you tell me if you think Talon is better, even, or worse than the quarterbacks he's going to play this fall. Okay? Nussmeier.
No.
He's not better. Arch.
Probably not. I mean,
Okay.
but have we seen enough from Arch to really know? I would say probably not, though.
Austin Simmons, who's taking over Ole Miss.
Don't know.
Okay. Marcel Reed, who beat Arkansas last year, but was more defensive than anything for Texas A&M.
He's a
Push.
He's a better
Push.
thrower.
He's more.
He's a better thrower.
He's better throw. Is he more athletic? I'm trying to. Seems like
Reed's
he's a pretty good runner, if
Yeah,
I remember
he's a good
right, too. When he got outside the pocket and scrambled on us last year, he was a problem, if I remember right.
Joey Aguilar, the new Tennessee quarterback, the Appalachian State
No.
transfer. Yeah, he's not better. Or he is better than Aguilar. Blake
Palin
Shapen.
Green is better.
Yeah, Blake Shapen, Mississippi State, who's a transfer from Baylor, if I remember that right.
Well, you should know if it's Baylor.
I think that's right.
Don't know, but I would give the edge to Green, just not knowing.
Jackson Arnold, who's the Oklahoma transfer to Auburn, who Hugh Freeze is. Yes, he's better.
Who's better than Jackson? He had a lot of turnover. I mean, he threw a lot of interceptions last year at Oklahoma.
Bo Pribula, who's the new QB at Missouri. Yes. So like the only no on Nussmeier, but the most of your the quarterbacks he's going up against, most of them you're like
toss-ups at worst.
Yeah, toss-ups at worst. Like you don't know about Arch, you don't know about Simmons. And that's I think if you're an Arkansas fan, and listen,
That's 7 games. So can you be better in 4 of those? If you just throw away the LSU game with Nussmeier, are you better?
Which I don't think anyone
can you get 4 of those 7? I don't know. You know, if you go 4-4 in the league this year, that's a big ask, huge ask. But you're going to have an acceptable season by a reasonable person's standard.
With 3 non-conference wins over Memphis, Arkansas State, and Alabama A&M, not counting the Notre Dame game.
It would be the most Arkansas thing ever to only win 2 in non-conference and win 4 and go 6-6. But we've seen that before. We saw that under Bielema where they lost to Toledo and lost to Texas Tech, but won 5 in the league that year. I mean, those things can happen, but probably not with this kind of schedule.
You mentioned you were talking about coaches earlier and SEC media days. Obviously, revenue and the change within the framework of college sports is going to be a big topic a week from today. Hugh Freeze is going to get a lot of flack. Their recruiting right now is abysmal in Auburn. I mean, they're just getting their tail kicked. He posted a golf picture this past week. His fans are just ripping.
Have you seen this deal on Hugh Freeze? That the article that was written. So when you or I play and you record your scores for your handicap, there's an app out there for those who don't play golf. It's that the USGA puts out. It's called GIN, Golf Handicap Index Network. Mm-hmm. But you got to record your scores in there. Well, those are public to anybody. Well, in the month of June, Hugh Freeze had played 11 rounds of golf.
Oh, geez.
And he recorded all those for his handicap. Well, someone looked that up, found it, and wrote an article about it. And it's not setting well on the plains, you know.
No. They're dead last in the Southeastern Conference.
And what you don't want to read about when you just use the words dead last is my head coach played 11 rounds of golf in early June. When what's going on in early June? A lot of recruiting, a lot of official visits. It's not, if you told me you played 11 rounds of golf in late June and around July 4th, it's vacation time. But it's dead period. These were dead period times.
Hugh Freeze, here was his thoughts on the matter.
It does seem kind of strange that we're like some of the lowest range of numbers. I mean, we're like, really, really low compared to some, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I do think it'll shake out in the long run. But it is complicated and hard to sit there and feel great about.
I don't think it's that complicated.
What's he talking about?
His recruiting.
His recruiting.
As bad as they
are. Yeah, because you're playing golf.
They're last in the SEC, and they only have 6 commitments right now in the class. Just for example, and listen, Arkansas doesn't have the highest rated either player profile or committed. They have 26. Sam Pittman and this staff have 20 more commits on their roster for this next season than Hugh Freeze and company. Tay Lockett, for example, Cole and I were talking about this before the show. He's the California safety that's put out the statement that he is not canceled his recruitment. What is the phrase? He's shutting down his recruitment. Well, I'd like to also inform you that I am shutting down any job offers that have been thrown at me here at ESPN Arkansas. So we're coming up on year 7 of my employment. But yeah, Tay Lockett has said that, which is kind of funny.
We can all breathe a deep sigh of relief.
A deep sigh of relief. As we head
my
into,
job here is done.
As we head into year 8 of Ty's tenure at ESPN Arkansas. But that was, again, listen, I know things aren't great football-wise at Arkansas in terms of where you want it to be. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you a different way. I'm not going to spin it. But it could be worse, i.e. what's happening at Auburn. And then also it seems like I
think that's the hottest seat in the SEC.
Yes.
And I don't think it's close. I really don't think it's almost rhetorical.
Help me. Okay, so Freeze 1, Napier 2. I would put Pittman at 3. Is there someone else? And then no, Venables 3, Pittman 4. Because there's just I hate to say
someone look on coach's hot.
There's an expectation.
Don't look coach's hot seat up. See what they say.
There's an expectation that is higher in Auburn, Alabama, Gainesville, Florida, and Norman, Oklahoma than there is in Fayetteville, Arkansas with the football program. Whether you think that's right or wrong,
I think you got it pretty well right. I don't think right? Pittman's not on the hottest seat. It's fairly warm, but I don't know that it's fans as much. Just you can't have a 5-win season.
I 100% agree with you about Freeze though, and I thought it was nailed. I thought they got the best guy for the job. And
what's coach's hot seat say, Colton?
First 5 for the sake of the argument here. Number 1 is Hugh Freeze. Number 2, Billy Napier. Number 3, we forgot about this one, Kalen DeBoer. The expectation at Alabama super high. Mark Stoops at Kentucky, and then number 5, Brent Venables at Oklahoma.
Stoops is probably up
Where's
there.
Pittman on that list?
Not on the top 5, so I'll keep searching to find.
Okay. All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. Our good buddies Jackie and Matt just do such a great job of taking care of clients, staying in touch. They've got 2 locations, Sequoia County and Salisaw, their newest, right across from the courthouse, and of course, just off Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They've been there for a while. Divorce and family law, they do that. Car wreck cases, if you're dealing with insurance companies, a slip and fall accident, really any kind of legal matter you may be going through. Jackie has got over 13 years of experience to walk you through and guide you through. Plus, they got easy-to-understand flat fees, reasonable down payments, and flat fees with monthly payments that you can afford. 479-769-1505 or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
Hog update coming up. Plenty of baseball news when we return.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Tim Brando, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer day. Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
You're going to get 20% off your first order. Just use the code RUSH25 at Roback.com.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
I give you the number 1 ranked eater in the world, Joey Chestnut.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Reward. The app for terms.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
7 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody will pick Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We're going to talk some Arkansas football with expert Phil Steele coming up. You know his magazine, 2025 college football preview is out. So in about 30 minutes from now, we'll have Phil on talking all things Arkansas football and SEC as well. You got some football news here this morning. Arkansas got another commit. We mentioned in the last segment the Razorbacks now at 26 commitments for the class of 2026, including Kemeon Henderson, who's a 3-star wide receiver from Carthage, Texas, had over 1,000 yards as a junior this past season, held offers from Houston, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and others, and committed to the Razorbacks. They also got another commit for the class of 2027, Yaquin Cavalucas. There's no way I said that last name right. He's a quarterback, 3-star kid that picked Arkansas over West Virginia, Syracuse, and others. He's a Lakeland, Florida kid. So that's some football news for you this morning. 2026, they built up in terms of numbers, Tommy, they built up a sizable class. I think, Colin, you can correct me on this. I think that leads the SEC, at least in terms of commits, not rankings, but at least in commits for this next class.
How many 4-stars?
I think it's 4.
I mean, 5 stars? Probably none.
None.
So.
I know some people were disappointed. And is it Colton, help me out. Is it Chase Campbell or Clay Campbell, the Razorback legacy that was told?
Chase Campbell.
Okay, Chase Campbell. I know that some people were disappointed. I know I'm not privy to all the details, and I know they've had a couple wide receiver commits that there wasn't room for him, that he was told via the staff. But and he's a 4-star kid. But yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 in terms of number. Again, it's not in terms of. You got to separate the two. They've got a lot of
commits.
Yeah, these are commits, not signees. There's a lot of commits, not necessarily high-end commits for this upcoming class. So it's a balance of sorts. You'd rather be in their situation than what Auburn's dealing with Hugh Freeze with 6, but hoping to add some bigger guys for this upcoming class.
Georgia has 27 total, so you're 1 behind.
Okay, 1 behind.
It's July 7th. First half of this year's flown by. It will be December in the signing period before we know it. So, I mean,
exactly right.
It's not too early to talk about these things because, I mean, it will be the blink of an eye. I mean, we're 54 days from the season, and it'll feel like we went 3 weeks and hell, the season will be over. So, I mean, it's good to have a head start. What'd you just say on commit numbers? Who was next?
Georgia is 27, which leads the SEC.
And Arkansas is at what?
26.
26. So, I mean,
total commitment.
I know there's probably a little bit of difference between Georgia's 27 and Arkansas's 26.
Oh, yes.
They have 19 4-stars.
Wow.
There you go.
It's just a different story. That sums it up right there. Say that one more time, Cole.
Georgia has recruited 19 4-stars to Arkansas's 3.
Oh, the Razorbacks are going to flip 9 of them on signing day. You heard it here first. Baseball news. You had a lot of baseball news this weekend. So Texas Tech infielder TJ Pompey committed. Malik Niu committed. Marshall kid. Let's see. Damian Ruiz committed. Lamar transfer. And then you've also got, listen to this. So Jackson Wiggins is playing in the MLB All-Star Futures game. 3 guys are on the 26-man roster for Team USA that's in Japan this week. Ryder, Cole Gibler, and Gabe Gackle as well. So plenty of baseball news in terms of commits, guys that are on the team that are in Japan, and then also a bright young star in Jackson Wiggins that's trying to make his way to the majors as well.
Well, and I would imagine if you get a chance to be on the roster, you don't wait around hoping something. You commit, you grab your spot pretty quick in baseball because if not, somebody else will. And we can talk about recruiting, but it's the only sport where you're probably choosing more and selecting more than you are recruiting.
Yeah, and basketball is another one of those based on who Cal has brought in. We had J.J. Andrews on last week. J.J. was fantastic. If you missed that, it's on hitthatline.com or Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. You know how sometimes you feel like that Arkansas, when you sign a kid or he commits to you feel like you lose a star? Well, J.J. picked up a star. He went from a 4-star to 5-star on ESPN. Not going to say the Morning Rush interview had anything to do with that.
Oh, I definitely did.
But congratulations to JJ, who's been elevated to that. 4 total. Now, he's not signed with Arkansas, but he would be the 4th signee 5-star for the Arkansas Razorbacks if he ends up, and based on the interview and based on drawing your own conclusions, I think he's going to end up in Fayetteville. But it's good for JJ and just heading into this next season. Did also see, and this was interesting to me, Adu Thero is not going to play in Summer League for the Lakers. Still dealing with that left knee hyperextension. I give him a lot of credit for trying to come back against Texas Tech. I know he didn't play a significant role in that game, but if the Lakers are holding him out for this, then he was obviously dealing with a good chunk of pain during that Sweet 16 game in San Francisco. So you got to give him some props for that.
Well, and landed a good organization. I was listening to a lot of conversation this weekend about what's next with LeBron there, and is he the next big trade deal? And I think the future with the Lakers, the new ownership, and all that, it's going to be, if you're a Lakers fan, which I'm not, but that's an interesting franchise to watch over the next, say, 12 to 18 months.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning on Hot Take Monday. Hog Update always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 Sparky.
Boys, we're going on the road. Show's on the road Thursday as we kick off the football trip of a lifetime this week. We're going to be at Hardee's on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. You can come by all morning long. Now, Hardee's does breakfast till noon now. If you didn't know that, they got their delicious, best-in-brand biscuits. I mean, nobody does a better biscuit in the morning than Hardee's. $1.49 sausage biscuits, 6 a.m. till noon this Friday. Morning Rush is going to be there. And here's what we're doing. This is our 20th anniversary of the football trip of a lifetime. We're rolling back the prices to 2005, and you can get a monster burger for only $3.50 while we're there from 9 to 11. This offer good at both Fort Smith and Salisaw locations, so come by and see us for lunch and breakfast this Thursday. We are at Hardee's.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call today. And good morning to this great fan base.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
TEXASS. This is the Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade right now at Rath Auto Resources. We're kicking off our July 4th used car event with an old favorite. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and get your state sales tax paid. Combine that with our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team, and there's never been an easier, more worry-free way to buy a quality pre-owned car. Get state sales tax paid when you trade during our July 4th used car event. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Reward. The app for terms.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
A tradition unlike any other is the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, which highlights the 4th of July weekend on Coney Island in New York City. Joey Chestnut returns to the competition, eats 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Not going to get to the records, but 70 would be a remarkable feat. To achieve 70 again.
Watch him here in the last seconds. Joey's going to get it in. Boom.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Put down your hot dogs.
70 and a half dogs in 10 minutes. Morning Rush Daily Question. You can call or text on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. I'm putting 10 minutes on the clock, Ty Richardson. Good quality Nathan's hot dogs. You don't have to wet the bun. You can if you want. Mustard, relish, whatever you want. How many could you eat in 10 minutes?
I would say I could eat 12.
Over a dog a minute.
You've seen me eat 8 chili dogs. I think.
What? How long did we go on that?
I went
8 dogs in 5 minutes or something like that?
No, it was 2 segments basically. There wasn't a time limit. It's just, hey, can you eat these 8 chili dogs? So I think I could eat 12 toppingless. I might put ketchup on it, but I think I would raw dog it. So 12 dogs.
12? I think about 8. I think I could probably get like 5 in the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then I'd struggle. Then I'd hit the food wall. I think about 8's probably my max. I'm not interested in really seeing, but Colton, you skinny guys are always the ones that win. You tall, lanky guys. How many dogs could you devour in 10 minutes?
Maybe 2 or 3. I am not a competitive eater by any means. And first of all, just the sight of those people shoving those hot dogs in their mouth is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. They get it sopping wet with water, and that's
the part that's disgusting. Who wants to eat wet bread?
Oh
ever?
My God, it makes me gag thinking about
Yeah,
it. Like,
exactly.
I have such a weak and sensitive stomach thinking about like wet bread and wet paper and stuff.
Well,
Just
if you
the
got
thought
a
of
weak
that
or
is-
sensitive
I
stomach,
could
this isn't
not-
for you. Yeah.
Could not in a million years. Maybe 1 or 2.
You know, it's wild. So
3.
I don't know what you all did this weekend, but I was over at a friend's house, and there were several people over there, guys and gals, and the host of the party decided it would be a good idea to put on all these Joey Chestnut challenges. So the guys are sitting here thinking it's and the girls, I'm watching their faces and watching how queasy they are at this point in time as he continues to filter through the different contests via
Thank you,
wings,
YouTube.
via hot dogs. Like, he just keeps going and going and going. I'm just cracking up laughing because I didn't realize how many different events that Joey Chestnut competes in outside of just what we all know him as, the famous hot dog eating contest champion. What, 17 times I think he's won it now? Yes,
17.
His 17th. So
tied John Cena for individual world champion.
He's 42 years old.
It just doesn't, like, I can't.
They ask him why he didn't, because his record's 76. He once took down 76 dogs in 10 minutes. He got 70 and a half. He thinks, and I heard him in an interview after, he thinks he's got one more run in him at the title.
One more run.
He said, and they said, well, what's slowing you? Father Time. He said, Father Time's catching up. So I guess Father Time can slow your innards down.
12-8. Colton, you said 3.
I'm not even interested in trying.
I'm gonna go 4 through sheer force of will.
What did your dad call you when you eat again? What does he say?
He says I eat like a bird, and just small little frequent meals throughout. Just peck away.
Why we lose you when you turn sideways?
That's
you
true.
Disappear.
Hey, if there's a stiff breeze, y'all gonna have to catch me.
Yeah.
All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. How many hot dogs do you think you could eat over the course of 10 minutes? Cart Pass Social, great place that not only you can bring your own hot dogs, but you can also play one over 1,000 different courses. I think Bethpage Black is on there as well, which was what, Tommy? Is it 2 months away? When's the Ryder Cup is in
the
September?
Ryder Cup's in the fall. That'll be in October.
It's October. Okay, so
the Open Championship is next week.
Okay, so a couple.
Hang on, I've lost track of my weeks. Into this week.
Yeah. All right, so a couple big golf events coming up here in these next few months, and if you want to play like some of the people that compete on the PGA Tour, you can do so at Cart Pass Social. Again, over 1,000 different courses at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Christian, Nate would love to see you. 2 Rogers guys that have built this incredible business at Cart Pass Social. Go to cartpasssocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Birthday parties, corporate events, work team exercises. You can do it all at Cart Path Social.
Question 2. If you were going to enter a food eating competition, hot dogs didn't seem to trip any of our triggers. What would the competition be?
Pizza.
Pizza for you?
We had I had a very boring 4th of July. Me and 2 friends ate a 30-inch pizza, pepperoni and jalapeno, and then I went to bed. Didn't shoot off any fireworks, didn't watch any fireworks, heard them going off. I was very much a curmudgeon this 4th of July. It's kind of lame. Probably the lamest I've ever been at 30 years old on 4th of July. Farmer Tom says tacos. Colton, what were you going to say?
If you're my mom or my dentist, cover your ears. But if there's a Dr. Pepper chugging contest, I would fare pretty well.
Dr. Pepper's fantastic.
I had my first ever Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
It's
mainly by default.
It's pretty good.
It was okay.
They'll have it at SEC Media Days. They'll push it at SEC Media Days.
It's not Coke Zero. It's not Coke Zero,
it's
but
not Coke Zero.
It's
Coke
okay.
Zero's better.
Coke Zero's better, but it was okay. As a substitute, it was okay.
I'm a Dr. Pepper over Coke guy, so I really do enjoy the Dr. Pepper Zero, and there'll be plenty of it in Atlanta next week.
We'll get to Tom in just a second. He's on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Farmer Tom said crunchy tacos. You mentioned that. BE in Clarksville said put him down for a Brussels sprout eating contest.
He'd be the only one.
You'd be the only. You would win by default. So
Jeremy wants to know how many did second place in the hot dog. It was like 41, Colton. Wasn't it like a 30?
It wasn't. It was like
a 30 hot
multiple
dog.
The only question was
hot
the
dogs
record.
away.
Yeah.
Which he did not get to.
You know those little hash rounds they do at breakfast at Hardee's? Ooh. I think I could get competitive with those. The little hash round for whatever reason. Those are one I think I could consume a lot of. Not necessarily good to for you. It's not really a low carb option, but I'm going to tell you, those are maybe the most delicious side that goes with anything in fast food.
They're pretty good. All right, let's go to Charleston, where Tom has phoned in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tom, how many hot dogs do you think you could eat in 10 minutes? Tommy boy, you there? All right, I think he got disconnected. We'll try back again. Those are pretty good for this upcoming week, which we have a pretty good week ahead. Of course, we'll be at SEC Media Days next Monday. We'll be there the entire week. And then again, we're going to be at Hardee's on Phoenix and Fort Smith this Thursday for that upcoming contest. Speaking of food, ribs, brisket, what else did you cook? It was a reunion of sorts this week?
Yeah, we had our Kraft family 4th of July family reunion. We've been doing it for a few years now up at Norfolk, and Saturday was my cooking responsibilities for Saturday nights. We had a brisket, a pork butt, which I pulled into pulled pork, sliced brisket, which I did, I did some sausages, just some link sausages, from the store.
Mm-hmm.
Cut those up, and then ribs, 2 racks of baby backs.
Baby back. I wish I had that on the soundbar.
Wasn't much left of any of it. So
My
got
dad-
a little pulled pork and a little bit of brisket left.
My dad sent us some onions,
Yeah.
and sauerkraut, and brats. I told him I could do without the sauerkraut, but everything else on the plate looked good.
Sauerkraut with brats is pretty good. I can do that. I mean, I was raised on it. My grandmother would a whole skillet of sauerkraut with hot dogs just sliced up in there. That's old school for me.
All right, Kevin is phoned in from Rogers this morning. It's 9:49 here on a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. Kevin, what do you got for us this morning?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone had a good 4th.
Yeah, you too.
know?
You
Hope
too,
it was
Kevin.
good. The real question is, how many bratwursts could those guys eat? Because I'm a
Oh.
bratwurst guy.
Not
being
nearly
from
as
Iowa
many.
State.
Bratwurst are a lot heavier than a hot
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. This couple, just talking about food, could be.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, I see that it comes across ESPN. I just don't watch it.
Yeah, it's not appointment TV for me, but I want to go out to. I've been to New York a few times. Never been to Coney Island. We had an intention of going one year on 4th of July when we were up there, but just didn't do it. But
Well, we're thinking about going up to the basketball game this year. We're looking at the tickets right now, so maybe that's a good idea.
take the train out to Coney Island. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be more entertaining. I might even watch it if they just decided to say, let's do, how many hot chicken wings can you eat on 4th of July? That's what I think would be really cool, because everybody loves chicken. But I know hot dogs are like the American thing. I get that. But, I just wanted to throw that in. I think the chicken wing thing. We all
Need some
like
apple pie and baseball. You're set.
I was going to ask you, Tommy and Ty, because y'all do some barbecuing and stuff, have you ever had a currywurst?
No.
A currywurst. Enlighten us, Kevin.
No.
Okay, been to Germany a couple of times. That's where my ancestors are from. And I love bratwurst. So all it is a bratwurst. And I'm not a curry eater like curry restaurants, but in Germany, they serve something called a currywurst. And all it is they mix some curry powder and ketchup. And they put it on, and man, try it sometimes, guys. Get you some curry powder, throw it in some ketchup on your bratwurst, just mix it up, and it's really good, believe it or not. So that's all I got, not much.
Kevin, appreciate your call. I don't know if you've been to Germany in Oktoberfest. I've got invited a few times from buddies. It kind of just falls during football season, so it's hard to make
Germany?
that.
Like you're going to fly to Germany?
Yeah, they had mentioned that they've been several times, but that possibility has presented. So it's just, can't really do that during football season, the setup and everything that we have, just with our jobs and everything. But that would be something that.
That's the only thing holding you back.
It's football season.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding you back.
Wait, why? What else is holding? Me
Well,
back?
I would just think you could find a German fest maybe a little closer. Maybe not go halfway around the world.
But that's there's no equivalent to the original.
This is true.
I don't know. Again,
my wife lived in Germany in her first marriage, and she doesn't have a lot of desire to go back. It rains there a lot, cloudy. Hardly ever get sunshine in Germany. So
that would be the worst thing ever. Is you pay all this money. Like my parents were in Chicago a few weeks ago, and I think they said it rained every day. Like to plan an overseas vacation and for it to rain on you or have inclement weather every day would just be the worst.
Happened to me one time at the beach. Got there and a tropical storm rolled in, ruined half the
Ruined
trip.
the day.
Yeah.
Ruined the week.
Anyway, brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. They're hot and heavy back at it today, and it's going to be hot outside. Now's the time to get that fence work done. They can do it this summer for you at the Fence Man. Security fencing's the thing that get more calls about right now than anything. Taller privacy fences like 10-foot fences, security fencing for industrial and commercial and work applications that you might be needing, powered automatic gates or walk-through gates with card readers and combination codes. They do all kinds of fencing and gates that keep security first in mind. 782-3936 or go online, thefenceman.ar.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Phil Steele joins us next.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Vuya Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Vuya Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade right now at Rath Auto Resources. We're kicking off our July 4th used car event with an old favorite. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle and get your state sales tax paid. Combine that with our painless pricing and non-commissioned sales team, and there's never been an easier, more worry-free way to buy a quality pre-owned car. Get state sales tax paid when you trade during our July 4th used car event. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There's a slight chance of seeing a shower. Thunderstorm or high temperatures into the low 90s. Mainly clear, low 70s tonight, and then Thursday, sunshine, low 90s. Friday, we're back to sunny skies and a high in the low to mid 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
So
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 54 days.
For he declares the ministers of faith and the limitations of our birth. And he will not stop until he stands side by side with the gods. His glory is strung like beads of light to adorn the arc of history itself. Yahweh!
Also a hook at it. Look at Richards. It's on the other side of the bar. The flag comes up. The goal is given on the field. It's Richards from Sebastian Hunter. Let them form.
Just incredible.
And look, that is a clear hand on the ball.
I give you the number 1 ranked eater in the world, Chestnut.
Live from the Bush Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
In his triumphant return, Joey Chestnut wins his 17th Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Didn't break his own record, but did more than enough to win.
Just a mere mortal.
Yeah, just over 70. USA Soccer falls to Mexico last night. That's just absurd. They fall to Mexico last night, 2-1 in the Gold Cup final in Houston. Pro Mexico crowd, pro Mexico refs, and now the United States.
He's calling cheating. He's throwing the cheating card out.
It was tough. So that's quite an intro for hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. We've got another intro queued up for our guy, Phil Steele. He joins us, talk about his upcoming magazine, which is already out. And, of course, the Arkansas Razorbacks in college football coming up in just a second.
Magazine sells it short. It's the Bible of college football. You got to have one for the upcoming season. All right, Phil Steele in about 20 seconds. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. You can celebrate freedom all summer long with a red, white, and blue sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Cool off in a Doughboy above-ground pool. Now up to $1,500 off, or dive into summer with a semi-in-ground pool starting at just $190 a month, or go big in-ground pool with a free heater on select pools right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Fort Smith, Springdale, Greenland, and now in Hot Springs, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
Oh, Phil.
I think the magazine is quicker than the internet as far as the lookup goes, because you know where the information is. So as you mentioned, you close your eyes and point to where it is. You go to the internet, every website is set up differently, so it's actually quicker and easier in the internet.
Palin forced to run inside the 40, first down at the 35, inside the 30, to the 20, cuts outside of the 10, 5, touchdown Arkansas!
This is Phil Steele, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
All right, so while some of us were taking in the hot dog eating contest, USA versus Mexico last night, I'm going to guess Phil Steele was watching tape. Were you watching tape this 4th of July, Phil? Is that an accurate guess?
Yes, I was. You're on to me. You caught it. That's pretty much all I do is watch football. I don't follow any other sport out there.
Well, the 2025 college football preview, Phil Steele, is out right now. Phil, I know you like to post people, whether they're on vacation, beach, wherever. Where's the craziest place that you've had a picture sent to you of someone reading your magazine?
I would have to say a couple of years ago there was one from the top of the Eiffel Tower, which I really appreciated. That was a pretty neat place.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
How much more difficult has your job gotten in the last 24, 36 months with portal, with all these things, and just keeping everybody on the right roster? How difficult has that become for you?
Ridiculous compared to 5 years ago, especially with the 2 transfer portals. And the one thing I noticed this year, guys, which I didn't really notice last year as much, but this year for sure, a lot of players that came in the winter portal were leaving at the end of the spring portal, for crying out loud. But we have to go. We go to the press at the start of June, so that we're able to capture not only all the players that have left, but all the players that have signed. But it was a very hectic month of May. In fact, last year I started my coaches' interviews even before the portal closed, just to get them all in. This year I tried to cram in the 125, 126 coaches' interviews all in the month of May, because I wanted the portal completely closed, and then finding out where all the players landed, and it made it for a very hectic month of May.
If you had to put your best guess, or you may know the exact number, in the Power 4 conferences, in the 2 deeps, what percentage of those would be transfer players now that didn't start there? Would it be over half now at this point?
It sure seems like it. I don't have an exact number, but I could tell you it varies from team to team. You take a look at Clemson, for example. Clemson has 3 or 4 transfers coming in. Iowa State has 5 or 6 transfers coming in. Those are teams that have a lot of continuity, a lot of cohesion, not bringing in a lot of players. There are other teams, like when I talked to Rich Rod at West Virginia this year, he was bringing in, we went over the positions. He's like, Phil, that guy hasn't even been on the team yet. He's coming in. We just signed him in the transfer portal, so I can't give you too many specifics on him. A team like West Virginia, the entire roster is almost entirely new. So I would think when you average it out, it would come near those numbers.
Phil, because I'm just looking at Arkansas's offense. Just the offensive alone, the 2 deeps got 15 transfer players here at Arkansas, Phil.
Yes, and what I do is on my team pages, I've got players highlighted in yellow when they transfer in. Arkansas is basically yellow all over the place. So, there are a lot of transfers coming in. And to me, one of the things I did when I was doing the magazine this year is I did give a little bump to teams that have the cohesion, got the continuity, a lot, not massively going to the transfer portal. And I think that's going to be an advantage as you see going on. Look at last year, for example. A team like Iowa State was in the Big 12 title game. They didn't use the portal a lot. Clemson won the ACC. Army and Navy were huge surprises in the American Conference. Guess what? They don't even use the transfer portal. So I think there is something to be said for teams' continuity and cohesion.
We're talking with Phil Steele here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Taylon Green is a transfer, Phil, but he's under year 2 under Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman in this offense. Where do you slot him in the pecking order of quarterbacks in this league?
I would definitely put him in the upper half of the SEC. And I love what we saw to Taylon Green last year, the improvement from the first part of the year to the second part of the year. Remember the first part of the year, you go through the first 5 games, he's hitting 49%. He's got 4 touchdown passes, just 4 interceptions. Not great numbers. But in the second half of the year, 65% completions, 11 TDs, only 5 interceptions. And he actually threw for the second most yards in school history behind Ryan Mallett. So I really liked the improvement we saw to Taylon Green. I loved what I saw to him at Boise at times. And I think we're going to see the best version of Taylon Green this year. You got to love a guy that's 6'6", 230, can hurt you with the legs, is accurate, and can hurt you with his arm.
I know there's a lot of question marks about this wide receiver group, Phil, and you were just talking with Tommy about the number of transfers on the 2 deep. They've added several skill position guys out of the portal. Is there a guy that you think could have a lot of impact in this offense with so many pass catchers gone from last year's team?
Yeah, somebody is going to emerge. And, last year, I think if you watched Arkansas football, you knew that Andrew Armstrong was going to get the ball the majority of the time. I don't know if we're going to see that this year. I think it's going to be a lot more balanced. I think they're improved in the slot with both Raylan Sharp and Cameron Shanks in there. Shanks is a guy that's got a lot of speed coming in from UAB. Keep your eyes on Omega Blake, though. Also, he's a transfer from Charlotte, was at South Carolina originally, had 795 yards last year. He can catch the football. So I think you're going to see a lot more balance out of the Arkansas wide receivers this year than you had last year when Andrew Armstrong hauled in the majority of the catches.
College football's foremost authority. Phil Steele with us here on the Morning Rush. Let's talk about that offensive line. You've got a couple transfers there, but some returning players with the Marion Harris and Fernando Carmona on that front line. That's kind of the returning main players. How does this Arkansas offensive line unit rank amongst the SEC, and do you see a clear step forward this year with the 5 guys up front?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is where the biggest improvement for Arkansas is going to be is on the offensive line. You remember last year they lost a second-team All-SEC center, their left guard, left tackle. This year they've got 3 starters back. They had in UCF's Caden Kittler. They had in Georgia Tech's Corey Robinson, Oregon's Shaq McRoy. So I think you're looking at an offensive line that's a lot better. They lost some starters from last year, but they've got good depth at running back and wide receiver. I think the offensive line is going to really help that unit out a lot. Sam Pittman knows offensive lines, going back to his days at Georgia, and feels pretty good about this unit. Says that in years past, the last couple of years, they've been trying to cover a weakness. He says there's no weaknesses to cover in this year's offensive line.
What about the flip side of the ball? Cameron Ball's the name that I think a lot of fans talk about. Sorey's another one at linebacker. What do you see out of Arkansas's defensive front this year, and how does it stack up amongst the SEC?
Yeah, I think the key is going to be up front on the defensive line. Only one starter comes back from last year, but they do have 7 what I call VHTs, or very highly touted players on the defensive line. So they've got the athletes up front. Now, Coach Pittman told me they felt pretty darn good about the defensive line after the spring. The big question mark he had was, will they be able to get to the quarterback? And that's going to be the key to me. They've got the size up front on the defensive line. Can they get to the quarterback? If they do, I think they're going to be very solid against the run. With the size they have, as you mentioned, Sorey at linebacker. They also have Dix at linebacker. Good talent at the linebacker position. I think the secondary should be improved over last year. The key to me is going to be, can they put pressure on the opposing quarterback this year?
Phil Steele with us here on the Morning Rush. Phil, I know scheduling is always tough in the Southeastern Conference. Arkansas is one of the toughest schedules in college football. They're accustomed to that. But when you look at the non-conference games, including Memphis, Notre Dame, is there a game you've honed in on as being the most important for Arkansas football this fall?
As far as the non-conference slate or the actual conference slate?
A combination, because there are important non-conference games, but collectively, is there a game that you think between both is the most important this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to October 25th. That game against Auburn. I think they got to take care of business at home, hold serve there, get the win. Auburn is a much improved team this year, but I think Arkansas has got the capability. They won at Auburn last year. That's one of those games that they've got to come up and get the win on.
Phil, with Auburn, I know that there's been some criticism of Hugh Freeze and their lackluster recruiting class in 26. They bring in Jackson Arnold in the offseason from Oklahoma. Does he have, in your opinion, the hottest seat in the Southeastern Conference this fall?
Right up there, I would have to say. Auburn, although Auburn, if you watch them last year, if you watch them on the field, they were a lot better than their final record would indicate. I mean, during the course of the season in conference play, they were plus 62 yards per game. Their problem was turnovers last year, so it was a tough 5-7 season. Now they've got 9 starters back on offense, 6 on defense. I think you're looking at a veteran team. Jackson Arnold got beat up for what the production was on the field last year at Oklahoma. But remember, he was missing his top 6 wide receivers at times. They had an offensive line with 0 returning starters. He's got a much better supporting cast here. He goes from having a depleted wide receiving core to having one of the best receiving cores in the country, a solid offensive line in front of him. So I think you're going to see a much improved version of Jackson Arnold. And I do think you're going to see Auburn be an improved team this year. And like I said, they were better than their 5-7 record last year. They could easily have won a lot of those games they lost.
Phil, next week, SEC Media Days, College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia. I know we've talked about a few tidbits thus far, but what are you interested in coming out of next week, if any importance, from SEC Media Days?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think Texas will probably come out voted number 1 in the SEC. They've got a lot of talent. They've got Arch Manning back at quarterback. It'll be interesting to see where the media lines up Georgia and Alabama. As far as coaches' comments go, to me, a lot of those comments that you hear at media days are are not really the type of comments that are going to drive me. As far as I get a lot more talking to the coaches personally off the record than you do getting coaches on the record. But I think it's going to be interesting to see where the media picks everybody.
Where do you pick everybody in the SEC? We were talking about this last week. Who's the top shelf this year in the league? It seems like there's more parity in the top 3, 4, 5 teams than maybe we've had going in, or at least that's the perception coming out of last year.
Yeah, I think we've got numerous teams that are going to be contenders for the title. I mean, Georgia last year took on a ridiculous schedule. They had to play Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas all on the road. This year they get all three of those teams at home. In fact, you look at Georgia's schedule, they're not going to be an underdog in a single game this year. Their three toughest opponents are all at home. I've got them picked to win the SEC as far as during the regular season, have the best record. Texas does have to play Oklahoma away from home. They play Georgia, as mentioned, on the road. They play Ohio State on the road, so a tough schedule, but they may be the most talented team in the SEC. And then keep your eyes on Alabama this year. Kalen DeBoer, year 2 at Washington, took a less talented team than what he has here this year at Alabama and took Washington to the national title game. I think if they get good quarterback play, and I like what I saw to Ty Simpson at the Manning Passing Academy. They've got Ryan Williams at receiver. They've got an outstanding offensive line and defense. I think Alabama's going to cause some problems for folks. And then, you look at the next tier. LSU is a team that's got a really good schedule, and they brought in a lot of transfers and have a veteran team. Oklahoma last year had no offense whatsoever. As mentioned, their wide receiving core was depleted. They had 0 starters on the offensive line. Much improved offensive line, much improved receiving core. I think John Mateer with the Washington State offense comes in. It blends with a top 5 defense that Oklahoma has and a good solid special teams. Plus, last year Oklahoma only had 3 home games. This year they only have 3 true road games. I think those 5 teams are probably your top teams in the SEC this year.
Thoughts on Oklahoma? We got some Sooner fans amongst us here in Western Arkansas. Seems like this is a year that Brent Venables has really got to make a clear step forward for OU's program.
And I think he will. They are my number 1 surprise team this year, which means a team no one's going to rank in the top 10. That has a great shot at making the playoff. They have my number 1 rated defensive line, number 4 set of linebackers. As mentioned, special teams are solid. The offense is much improved. The schedule, while still difficult. I mean, remember, when they came into the league and Texas came into the league, Texas drew very few of the big boys. Oklahoma drew them all. And Oklahoma still plays everybody this year. I mean, they play Michigan, they play Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, home to LSU. That's a brutal schedule, but more manageable. They're tough to beat at home, and I think they're going to hold on to the home this year. And going over the roster with Coach Venables like I did, I thought this was a playoff caliber roster. So watch Oklahoma to be a vastly improved team this year.
All right, so when you get your Phil Stills College Football Magazine and you start looking through it, Phil, it's almost like there's a language you better learn. There's terms and abbreviations, and really once you kind of get the lingo of the book, it becomes almost addictive.
Yeah, and I think the key is, back in 1995 when I started this, the abbreviations were probably pretty doggone confusing. But now everybody texts, and there are all these abbreviations in text, so I think people are easier to figure out them. But yes, if you're a veteran Phil Steele reader, you pretty much get the lingo and understand it and zip right through it. First-year readers, it might take you a little bit of time, but once you get the amount of information, I feel, and I'm going to ask you guys, you've gotten other preview magazines. I feel it's got 3 to 4 times the amount of information of any other preview out there.
Here's my only issue, Phil. I'm turning 50 later this year. I've got to get stronger glasses to read you put so much information in a couple of pages on a team. You better have some strong readers to get it all in.
Yes, and I can tell you that I have to use readers at times to get through the magazine.
I'm not alone.
If you're looking for pictures of cheerleaders and a lot of white space and easy to read, this is not your magazine. But if you're looking for information on top of information, crammed into as much space as we could, that's what this one's about.
All right, Phil. Phil Steele, 2025 college football preview. Where can our listeners get it and read about it before the upcoming season?
A couple of years ago, we went exclusive to 2 places, and it's been pretty good for us. Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So if you have a Barnes & Noble in the area, head over there. Books A Million, head over there. They've got plenty of them on copy. They started July 4th. They got them in stock, and you're able to get them. When you go, though, maybe lift a few weights prior. It's a heavy magazine. You compare it to every other magazine. It's 360-some-odd pages loaded with information. Or you can go to philsteele.com. That's STEELE.com. And when you go to philsteele.com and order the magazine, there's going to be a shipping charge, but we give you the digital version for free. And with the digital version, we actually update that all the way through September. So if a player gets knocked off the team or something, it's all updated on the digital version. So Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, or philsteele.com.
All right, can't wait to read it. It's great vacation. Take along. We keep a copy around the studio that everybody enjoys. So we always look forward to it's like Christmas in July when the Phil Steele arrives.
Hey, always fun talking football with you guys. Thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
All right, Phil's still with us here. Get his magazine today and get ready for college football season. We're brought to you by Farm Credit. It's time to spruce up your existing home or even build a brand new one. You can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the right financing option that is best for you. Go to myaglender.com or drop by any of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and get started on building more family memories.
I think when it comes to, there's good stuff there. If you missed any of Phil's conversation, it'll be up on our YouTube channel later. Also hit thatline.com, plus our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. He talked about the receiver position. Cam Shanks, who is a preseason All-American punt return specialist, and also Raylan Sharp. Raylan's been in the Bobby Petrino system. Cam has got some speed, as does Raylan. Again, that's maybe the biggest intrigue for me about this football team. I know there's other elements that people look at and stuff, but I think Taylor's not going to be worse than he was last year. He'll be better. I'm just hoping you see some guys step up in that wide receiver group that gives him enough where there's firepower in offense like some fans are hoping for this fall.
He had 5.5 wins, according to Bet Saracen's the over-under. You can go to Bet Saracen right now, 5+ regular season wins, minus 240 right now. So, you can find the action there, but that's kind of the expectation. Question is, can Arkansas find a way to steal some of them toss-up games? Phil pointed to the Auburn game. I think that's a critical game at home this year. You got to win some at home, keep the fan base, energized and simmered down. But that's a game you got to win if you want to have a chance at 7 this year.
That stretch, A&M,
gotta
Auburn,
you got to win that to get to 7.
Yeah, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, all winnable games, all at home. I don't think Mississippi State's going to be that good. Are they going to be 2-10? Probably not, but that's a game you should win. Auburn, while Phil still is pointed to the roster being better, he's right about that. I still think that's a game you can win. And I know you haven't had any success really against A&M since they joined the Southeastern Conference. 2 wins, a lot more losses, but I think you can beat them. Maybe the game just not being in Jerry World will help you at home. They've got a returning quarterback in Marcel Reed, who you lost to last season, so hopefully there'll be some things that go your way with Talon and company this fall. And, again, after the bye week, you go to Knoxville, and you have those 3 games at home, so that's a stretch that you're hoping goes Arkansas away this upcoming season.
Hey, it's the 20th annual football trip of a lifetime. Our Monster Burger Eating Contest is going to come up in August, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. It's our 20th year, so we are pulling out all the stops. This year it's a trip to Viva Las Vegas to see the Cowboys and the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. We'll start our qualifying remotes this Thursday. We'll also have the Morning Rush live all morning long on Thursday. You can get $1.49 sausage biscuits from 6 till noon. You can get a Monster Burger while we're there from 11 to 1:30 for just $3.50. This offer is good at both Fort Smith and Salisal locations. Great food, spin the wheel for great prizes, and make sure you download the Hardee's app. All of it brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. We kick everything off Thursday. Ty, the first chance to qualify, if you need a Monster Burger in 90 seconds or less, you are automatically qualified to the finals.
150.
What'd I say?
90.
150 seconds.
Yeah, 150 seconds or less. You can have that chance.
Did it used to be 90?
The thick burger.
Okay,
we went to
150.
Yeah,
right.
We went to the Monster Burger, I guess, a year or so ago.
Gave him a little more time.
Yeah, gave him a little because it's a little bigger, so that give you a few more seconds to knock it down. All right, when we come back, a notable athletics director in the Southeastern Conference is set to retire. We'll tell you who that is when we return.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisor Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Into the front court, Thero with a flush.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. Delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort. We're a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Like life, vacations don't always go as planned. If your summer getaway turned into a summer tow-away, don't hire an attorney you don't know from a state you'll never go back to. Hire me, Jackie Mock. I'm licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but I can process wreck checks no matter where you crashed. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a wreck check sounds nice.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America. The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally Friday holds the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
I love this hat.
Anyone see John Gruden sporting an Arkansas Razorback hat on the golf course?
Yeah.
4th of July. I thought that was cool. Hadn't mentioned that just yet, but for those that don't know, the Arkansas equipment staff sent him a ton of gear last week. He made like a 10-minute video about it.
Coach Gruden, we already know you look good in red.
And he was sporting it the day after he received it even. So I thought that was kind of cool.
We'll make an 11-minute video. They'll send us one, So
one up him.
Yeah. All you got to do, I mean, we can give you the shipping address. Just, if you want to reach out, have our people talk to your people, we'll make it happen.
They gave him 3 helmets. I mean, if they're giving out 3 helmets at a time, I mean,
What,
1, 2, 3 people
there you
sitting
go.
right here. I'd take one. I'll have the white one.
You think there's one big enough for Ty?
For my
Get all that hair in
big
there?
head, yeah. I do remember sporting one of my buddies' helmet at Arkansas. It's I would not, if I was playing quarterback or something, I don't know if I'd have long hair because it just like gets like stuck in there. So the guys that do grow it long, and that's for do the helmet, to each his own. That's just not something that I'd want to do. Continuing on your SEC update this morning, Hugh Freeze under fire from his own fan base. They have the least amount of recruits committed for the class of 2026. When asked about it, here's his response.
It does seem kind of strange that we're like some of the lowest range of numbers. I mean, we're like, really, really low compared to some, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I do think it'll shake out in the long run. But it is complicated and hard to sit there and feel great about.
So he also put on social media this weekend the first annual Ryder Cup between MMCC, which is Moores Mill Club in Auburn, against BCC, which I think is Birmingham Country Club. And apparently the Auburn team won that he was a part of. And then Lane Kiffin puts a fire emoji on there to say game is on fire, making fun of the fact that Auburn doesn't have a good recruiting class right now. And you made the comment earlier. Apparently someone found his handicap and he's
I'm looking for it right now. Hugh Freeze, Moores Mill Golf Club. Let's look it up ourselves. He has a 7.6 index. The lowest he's had is 4.6. But they went back and I'm looking at all of his rounds. So you can find the dates on it. Played in June. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 rounds of golf recorded in his June handicap in the month of June.
11 times 5, let's call it 5 at 50.
198 holes of golf.
Yeah, 55 hours wasted for the Auburn football program, as their fans like to look at.
7 rounds in May.
And 7
So
total
18.
commits in 2026 class.
Yeah.
So there was an article written that, this is, this is not a good look for him. When you're suffering and recruiting, your numbers are down. People expect more, and listen, the guy should be able to play a round of golf here and there, but be smarter. Don't post 11 rounds in 1 month, and you're making $6-7 million, whatever he's making, $7-8 million a year, maybe more than that. Well, no, but he came in at a pretty good number. These are the kind of things that get people stirred up, and you become a topic on a sports talk radio show that you didn't want to become a topic.
Speaking of topics on sports talk radio shows, I would guess across Oklahoma and Oklahoma City or Tulsa or Norman, Joe Castiglione's retirement is going to be on the top of most runouts today. Colton, you had the report. It was Pete Thamel of ESPN.com. What's the deal with Joe Castiglione, their AD over there in Norman?
He's going to retire from his full-time role during the upcoming school year. He's the longest tenured run. It's the longest tenured run for a current athletic director in major college sports. So things are changing up there in Norman. He was entering his 28th year. He's seen 26 national titles, 117 league titles, and he's going to hire his successor first, and then he will step away from Sooner Sports.
I think Mitch Barnhart is the second one maybe in the Southeastern Conference, if I remember that list correctly. Hunter's actually decently high on that list. I know there's some changes and whatnot, but that is wild that nearly 3 decades the athletics director has been the same at Oklahoma. And Frank Broyles was here for forever, it seemed like. But that is, not only do we see a plethora of football coaching changes, but athletics directors tend to. What do you think the norm is? 5 years?
Oh, it's probably longer
more than that.
I mean, probably for a coach, yes, on average. Seems like if you're making more than 5, you've been a success. Probably double that for an AD.
Okay.
I mean, Jeff Long was here what?
It was in it 08 to
Yep. Because he hired
20,
Petrino end of 07, actually. But, yeah.
Should have been 08 to 2017, right?
That's about 10 years.
18,
and then,
19 were Morris. Yeah, 20, I think 2008 to 2017, so about 10 years.
Yeah. And, Hunter Yurchek's not quite to 10, but he's closer to 10 than he is 5. So, yeah. I think 10 years is a good run.
Last thing here.
30's incredible.
Yeah. Last thing here in your SEC update, some rules for Alabama baseball, Colton, you were telling me about. Some breaking. What happened there?
Alabama athletics, they revealed it themselves, so they self-reported this. So good on them. They revealed 6 minor NCAA violations for the past calendar year, including koozies and hotel Wi-Fi. So for the baseball team, a recruit charged high-speed internet to the hotel room. No telling what for the Alabama baseball program, and they paid for it. And then the Alabama tennis program bought a recruit an Alabama koozie.
This is why people hate the NCAA. I mean, it's stupid stuff like this. And now we just pay players, but by God, we're going to slap your hand for internet. This is crazy. I mean, to me, this doesn't make Alabama look bad. The kids shouldn't have done it, and then the school's credit card shouldn't have been on file for incidentals. But these are the kind of stupid rules why people hate the NCAA. There was a story 5 or 6, 7 years ago. They got in trouble because athletes had an extra piece of cake at a banquet.
Yeah,
and they had to like do community service and pay back the cost of the cake. I mean, just stupid stuff like this is why people hate you in Indianapolis. Why they hate you, NCAA. Stop doing this. Stop making these rules. And when I say NCAA, it's the administrators and the people in these committees that are employees of a member institution that make these stupid rules. Mm-hmm. Quit making stupid rules.
The men's tennis and baseball staff received 4 hours courses of rules education. The coaches were also given letters of admonishment. That would hurt.
Well,
and the recruits were required to pay back the value of the gifts to charity.
And you got to have rules, or it would get carried away. But everything else is carried away now. It's all carried away.
No arguments there.
So we're going to scold someone over $9.95 of internet. Get out of here.
Or a $4 koozie.
Yeah, it's not. It didn't. I guarantee it didn't even cost the school $1. That koozie.
But they charged $10 for it, not to the kid.
Yeah.
But
no, and the gift shop it's $9.99.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
I would hate to get a letter of admonishment though.
Be tough.
Maybe that's what will change the that pink slipper in.
That's
You've been
the first
admonished.
step of action.
You've been admonished.
Here's a verbal admonishment for you.
Jeez.
Ty, it's 2:30. It's time to come into my office for your daily admonishment.
No bueno.
Oh, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by WT Equipment. Hey, with summer here, it's time to upgrade your equipment. And whether you need a powerful zero-turn mower or a hard-working utility tractor, WT Equipment has the deals to keep you rolling. Need more muscle for the job? Take advantage of the ready-to-roll savings on New Holland Power Star tractors. They got great financing options for up to 60 months, cash back offers on 65 to 100 PTO horsepower models. And these versatile workhorses are built for the field, the barnyard, and everything in between. Hey, hurry in now. WT Equipment, they're in Springdale. They got other locations around the state. Call them at 479-442-8284 or go to WTEquip.com.
So there's really only 3 correct answers for who should be at SEC Media Days with Sam Pittman next Thursday. Taylor Green, Fernando Carmona Jr., and this guy.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Mr. Campbell, who is the funniest player on this football team. By far, it's not close. He's also one of your best players, and he is always a quotable soundbite.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Oh, I didn't realize. Come on, bro. Oh, yes. It's something. Yeah. All right. Wow. You got to dig yourself out of that one, man.
barbecue meat. People, get your minds out the gutters. Come on now, barbecue.
He will steal the show if he is at SEC Media Days next week. And Fernando's pretty funny too, but Cam's the funniest dude.
I had a little spray bottle this weekend for the ribs and the brisket and the pork. I was
You're
moisturizing what I had on the grill this weekend. What was on the smoker.
At the end of the day,
So,
we're
I
all,
know where you're coming from, Cam.
at the end of the day, we're all 12 years old. Regardless if you're a male or female, the same
Apple
jokes,
juice.
the same jokes you laughed at when you were 12.
I wonder what Cam uses. Apple cider vinegar and orange juice. I mean, there's a variety of things you can put in that squirt bottle to moisturize the smoked meat.
I know that he has shared some pictures, and it looks a heck of a lot better than Lincoln Riley's brisket than what he made. Yours looked pretty good this weekend. The
Brisket
ones
was perfect as far as flavor. I didn't separate the point and the flat. We had a little issue, and I should have separated the point and the flat. We had a little technical issue with the smoker itself in between, and I had to temporarily move to the oven until we could figure out what was wrong with the smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got back to that because I didn't have a pan. It was going to be a mess. Anyway, perfectly tender, but just a little bit too tender. You say too tender. Well, when I let it rest for 2 hours, but it was shredding a little bit as I was slicing the flat on that. So even though cutting across the grain.
To do?
No, you really, the perfect piece of brisket is one that's a 1/4 inch thick and you can hold it over your finger and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Would you
with
say
a perfect smoke ring?
Okay.
But the flavor on it was a 10 out of 10.
Is that the best part of the weekend, 4th of July? I'm trying to think what my favorite part.
Oh, I had really good dad moments. We had the kids out on the tube behind the boat. We had 25 of us up there, but it's always fun when you're driving the boat and you get to knock the kids off the tube and then, circle back around, pick them up. That's great. I was 2 for 2.
I was gonna say this and I'll come back to this on What's Your Beef Wednesday, but I think this is important to share. I'm not gonna hold it till Wednesday. So I met one of our friends and partners here this weekend. I saw him at the gym. We were talking a little bit, and he goes, "What are you doing next week?" It's like, "Oh, we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia for SEC Media Days." Well, what are you doing Wednesday? I was like, "I'll be in Atlanta." It's like, "Are you sure you don't want to stay back and hang out at Lake Ouachita?" I was like, "Why?" You know what he tells me? You know what he proceeds to tell me? There is a college cheerleader competition in Lake Hamilton next week, and it is just going to be
like at the school or at the lake. You said Lake Hamilton.
He said Lake Hamilton, so he didn't really expand on that.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's somewhere Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton.
Probably convention center.
Yeah, something like that. And so what he proceeds to tell me is, do you want to go on the boat with me and the entire LSU cheerleaders? All of them.
Tiger bait.
That is, you talk about a moment. And I listen, as you like to make fun of me from time to time, SEC Media Days is my Olympics. I look forward to it every year, seeing friends and just talking all SEC football. But I found myself sitting there in the gym thinking to myself, you know what, I'd actually like to spend time on Lake Ouachita with me, my friend, and the entire LSU cheerleaders. Hopefully the males are somewhere else. And instead
but here's
I guess
the thing,
I'll begrudgingly be in Atlanta next week.
To the male cheerleaders, actually.
You're 30. You're an old man to them now.
No. I'm like
30. You're in your 30s. These young ladies are 22, 20.
They're looking for an older guy. They're looking for someone to provide and protect them, Ty, and that's you. You're that to a T.
I'm right before that. It's kind of creepy that he's hitting on me stage. I'm close, but I'm not there just yet.
What if she's a freshman?
Then that is creepy. What is that, 12 years? That's a little, but like the seniors on that squad, that's within striking distance.
John Brady, when he was the basketball coach, he had just gotten remarried. We were at an SEC Media Days. Someone congratulated him on his recent marriage. This was 2008.
And this was 4 years after their Final Four appearance, I think in 2004.
And he said the perfect number is because he'd married a woman that's a little bit younger than him, quite a few years younger than him at that time. Take your age, divide it in half, add 6.
Oh, he said 6. I usually do 7.
He said 6.
Okay, so I'll give myself an extra
15,
year.
so 21, 22, yeah, that's You're getting, yeah.
In my opinion,
You're out on freshmen and sophomores.
Not that I would have a legitimate chance with any of some of the most beautiful ladies on planet Earth, but I found myself a little hacked off that I was not going to be at Lake Ouachita next Wednesday.
You could stay here and work. Me and Colton will go to Atlanta.
It's
probably get more done that way.
Well, it's a balance of like
you wouldn't miss SEC media days.
Do we want to, on the off chance that one of the young ladies finds me somewhat attractive or funny or have a good time in Atlanta?
JT in Hot Springs says go to Atlanta. He's on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Says he has a 23-year-old daughter. He does not want anyone at 30 plus
I'm
around.
not 30 plus. I'm just 30.
You're 30 plus.
30. There's not 30
a plus. 30 plus includes
30 plus implies like 31
no.
above.
It does not. See, like 50 plus, I'm not in that group yet, but I'm getting there. I'm 49.
I don't label you as 50 plus. I just label you as 50.
Well,
50 plus to me implies 51 and above.
29 plus.
That's fine. That sounds better.
Anyway, hey, well, if you're in Hot Springs, you can slide by Oaklawn right now, and if you have the Oaklawn app, you can use that right now. The Oaklawn Sports app. Season's never over. I know Major League Baseball's still going. We got the Open Championship with golf this week. That'll be hot. WNBA still going, but all the preseason stuff. We had Phil Steele on earlier. You go through his magazine and get all the numbers out of there and maybe make your best bets here in the summer. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. You can get a 10% profit boost for new and existing customers on qualifying 3-leg parlays. And you can go down to the convention center, maybe watch some of the cheerleading. I don't know if they'll have the odds on the cheerleading competition, but they'll have everything else.
Who does Ty have?
Best
odds?
Yeah, Ty to get a girlfriend there, plus 1,000. So
that's pretty low.
Yeah. Hey, debit and credit cards welcome. PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, on-site cash when you're in Hot Springs at Oaklawn as well. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with a brand you trust. Anywhere in Arkansas, bet with Oaklawn Sports.
All right, we've still got some to get to here on the Morning Rush. Some baseball news for Arkansas as they had quite a weekend here in the last few days, getting a few commits, plus some notable names being mentioned for the USA team, which they'll participate in Japan this week, and a few other football storylines to get to as we close out the show as well.
I was looking at my buddy Sean White. He's one of the guides at Gaston's White River Resort. He was posting some pictures from this weekend of some really nice browns. We caught a lot of fish on the North Fork, but the browns and the trophy rainbows coming out of his boat at Gaston's looked really, really good. And if you're looking for a place to get away, maybe you didn't get that vacation last week or this week you're hoping for, now's a good time to call Gaston's. They have 80 different cabins and lodges on property that whether it's two of you going or maybe like we had our family reunion this weekend. We had 20 plus there. They got accommodations for that as well. They've got a meeting facility where you can host 100 people for a work convention or some kind of getaway training, those kind of places. If you want to do an off-site event, Gaston's is the place for that. And, of course, a great restaurant that overlooks the White River, great view. We were talking Friday with Scott Tabor. You know, you look up the old boat motors and the bicycles and all the antiques and collectibles they have in there. Makes it a really neat visit when you go and eat at Gaston's as well. 870-431-5202 is the number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback Tyler Spoon, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
It does my heart good when Texas football, Texas basketball, and Texas baseball suck.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111. 2111 for Dozie Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Like life, vacations don't always go as planned. If your summer getaway turned into a summer towaway, don't hire an attorney you don't know from a state you'll never go back to. Hire me, Jackie Mock. I'm licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but I can process wreck checks no matter where you crashed. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a wreck check sounds nice.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, winding down here on a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. This was a hot take I saw on social media this week, and Thor Nystrom, who covers college football, the NFL, and does a lot of fantasy football stuff as well, saw this that he put out, Tommy. In a very brief period last offseason, when Ashton Jeanty was considering options, a Heisman Trophy finalist, Arkansas made a hard push for him as a package deal to both bring him and Taylon Green to Fayetteville. Now, I know it didn't come to fruition, but man, that makes you wonder what a skill position group would look like with both Taylon Green and also Ashton Jeanty in the backfield this past year.
Well, and the problem Arkansas's got is there's just not a lot of star power, right? You just look up and down the roster and you're wondering, who's going to catch the ball. Taylon Green's the closest thing you got, so that's kind of where you're at. And you need some of these guys to develop a household name for themselves. One thing you need to develop is a game plan for your weekends in Fayetteville this fall. The Inn at the Mill is there for you with a conveniently located room. Oversized suites is what they really are. They're not just rooms, they're suites at the Inn at the Mill. and they can get you a great room for any game day weekend or anytime you're visiting Northwest Arkansas. 443-1800, 443-1800. Talk to Jen or go to inatthemill.com.
Just a reminder, we are at Hardee's this Thursday from not just 9 to 11, but 9 to 1:30 with the qualifier directly following that. So excited to be on Phoenix in Fort Smith for this Thursday. For Tommy, Big C, and Christian, I'm Ty. Matt Jones is back on halftime.
Businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal